Hi, my name is Stephen Martile from freedomeducation.ca, and this is another video put together in response to some questions about confidence. So on the very first video that I had put together, there were two questions. One came from Harry Chu, and it said, "Thanks for the video. The two obstacles you talked about are very true: confidence and lack of motivation. I believe many goals we don't achieve because we can't, or because we simply don't believe we can. Thus, the confidence we have is a 3 instead of a 9. So that's a very good point. But how do I increase my confidence?" The second question came from Hannah. It said, "Thanks for the video, but the big question for me is I have enough desire to achieve my goals. I've got the motivation, but how do I get the confidence in myself? I've tried for a long time without a result and I feel hopeless." Okay, so this question about confidence, it's really important to understand that confidence is not something that's on the outside. It's not something that you can get. You know, it's not on your desk, or it's not in your garage, or it's not in your office, or it's not in your car. It's not even something that you can physically grab, but you can feel it. And if you can feel it, then it must be real. And it is real, but you've got to realize that it comes from your inner world. It starts inside. So one of the things to realize is this idea that there are two worlds. There's an outer world and an inner world. And you've got to realize that the outer world is not separate from the inner world. They're very connected and part of each other. And the other thing is that one of the mistakes people make when they're getting their confidence is they look at the outside to validate the inside. And that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to be like looking at your income or looking at the influence you have and assuming and internalizing that. You really got to start fresh from the inside to build up your confidence. And I'm going to share a technique right at the very end of this video that shows you exactly how to do that, and an example of someone who's done it very successfully on one of my clients. So the very first thing to realize is that there are these two realms, that the inner realm is connected to the outer realm, and that the inner always goes to outer. You want to think of it as like electricity. Electricity always goes from, goes the path of least resistance. And it's the same with this idea of confidence. It starts inside and then it projects outward to the people outside of you so that they reflect back and see that you're confident. Now, this whole thing about managing your inner world, it does take some time. It takes some training. I mean, that's part of the reason why I set these videos up. But realize that confidence comes from managing your state, what Anthony Robbins called your state. I like to call it managing your energy or your emotional chemistry, because when you manage your emotions and you can raise them or lower them whenever you choose, this is something that's up to you. You can influence the way you feel, and when you do that, you change your confidence. And here's an example. Confidence is not something that is always up. I'm a big believer that it's something that fluctuates. It goes up and down. We're not always confident. An example would be a speaker that goes up on stage. Right before they go on stage, a little bit of fear may kick in. They might get a little bit nervous in their stomach, just right before they go up, and their confidence drops. But then, after the first few minutes, they start talking, getting into the crowd, their confidence goes back up. So you got to realize that confidence is not something that's always a flat line at one level, and that it's directly proportional to your emotional chemistry. So if your emotional chemistry is up, your confidence will go up with it. Now, back to this question of, okay, so that's great. I know now you realize that it's not something that's always the same in one area. It does go up and down. How do you raise it? I'll give you an example of a client I work with, Belle Bedell. Now, Belle has been a teacher for the past 25 years. Traditional teacher. She teaches in a public school in Florida. And she has been a passion for dance. But the biggest thing stopping her was going out and running her own dance recital. Because if she could do that, she knew that things would start to flow from there. People would see how good she was. But she had never done one before in 10 years. So we started working together, and I gave her one technique she started using, and it was affirmations. And you'll remember from previous video, I gave some affirmations away. And this is what she did. She before the performance. You got to remember that the timing is really important. When you manifest something, there's a delay. Your thoughts have a delay. Your feelings have a delay. So if you're feeling good about something now, it's going to take something time for that to show up. Confidence works the same way. Your emotional chemistry works the same way. So what you want to do is, what Belle had done is she started affirming to herself, I dance with confidence. 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 All the way up to the recital. She was driving there. She's saying, I dance with confidence. I dance with confidence. I dance with confidence. And then what happened when she got there? She danced with confidence. She was dancing on the floor, going out, bringing guys out on the floor, doing some salsa with them, bring another guy out to the salsa. She's like, I never do that. And at the end of her recital, she had a guy come up to her and was asked her if he could rub her feet. So all these great things were happening, and she got approached by 2 independent people who had asked her if she would be interested in teaching in their cities how people how to salsa. So the big question was, and then after that, once she had done it once, it got easier the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and she did 5 recitals in 5 weeks. So this is a woman who had done none in 10 years and then 5 in 5 weeks. So where did the confidence come from? Back to what I was saying, it comes from the inside. And she used an affirmation to bring up her confidence. Here's another example. Let's say you're going into an interview and you're a little nervous about the interview. Before you go into the interview, you start affirming yourself. I'm having a great interview. 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 And continue to do that. You're going to go into that interview. This is going to be a great interview. You're going to feel it. And you know what's even better? The interviewee is going to feel it, because they're going to sense your vibration. They're going to sense how you feel, and they're going to say, this is a great interview. So really, when it comes down to confidence, you've got to manifest it by actually intentionally, before you go into an event or before you have a scenario, of what it is that you want. And then when you go and actually go into that scenario where you're going to an interview or going to a dance recital, whatever it is, you already have the confidence. You're ready to go. A speaking engagement. I speak with confidence. I speak with confidence. Whatever it is. So I hope you found that really helpful. That's how you boost your confidence in 7 minutes or less.